Welcome to Mirror Domains, and this is your place for entertainment headlines. Kraven the Hunter and Rings of Power Season 2 dropped their trailers this morning. We'll take a look at those. First reactions for Alien Romulus we'll talk about, and we got to talk about Joaquin Phoenix. More fallout from that. Him leaving that project has gotten a lot of people upset. George Clooney's upset. He's got beefs with Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, we'll talk about that. But we'll start off today's show by talking about some of these trailers that dropped, including one for The Rings of Power Season 2. I know that there are not a whole lot of fans out there for this. They want it to bomb. They want it to fail on epic, monumental levels. But I actually enjoyed the last half of the first season. So I'm invested. That's where I'm coming from. Trailer 3 it's listing as. 2 episodes come out August 29th, from what I understand, so we will be doing full live reactions to them here on the channel. Rings of Power, Season 2, let's check it out.
To Middle-earth.
War has come. Yes. So they forged the rings at the end. Paul Brand was revealed as Sauron.
Armies cannot defeat him. Once the deceiver obtains a being's trust, he gains the ability to sculpt their very thoughts.
Okay, cinematically, it looks good, guys. Like, cinematically? Cinematography?
To fear these rings. In Sauron's hands, they could work an evil beyond reckoning.
Oh,
Wraiths must not fall. It would be a mortal blow for all Middle-earth.
Sooner or later, Sauron's eye bores a hole. The rest of him slips.
Guys, this looks good.
You sought peace. I gave it to you. This is hardly a gift. What have you done to me?
What have you done to me?
Oh, wow.
Who are you? Truly, I am the one keeping the storm at bay.
Yeah.
Sauron is my enemy as much as yours. I can help you destroy him.
I will not stop
Is
until
that the
this is
Balrog?
right.
Every soul in the seen or unseen world.
That
will
horse
know
looked
that it
great. Was that
you who was
Kieran
the
Hines?
architect of their demise.
August 29th.
At this moment, the great tale of our age is being written.
Guys, this looks good. Like, visual effects wise?
You think it was only you who put yourself in my power?
There it is. The crown.
Galadriel.
Oh, wow. No, I like it, man. I dig it. Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power Season 2 on Prime. Good stuff. Like, yeah, that looks really awesome. Makeup looks good. I like the stuff with the dwarves. I really do. I just want to check to see if that was Kieran Hines or not. Somewhere around here, wasn't it? Or was it? I might have missed it. Yeah, there was a big montage of stuff I should have checked out to see where it was. But oh, look at that horse work. Now, is that a real horse that they really did that, or is that CGI? Either way, it's awesome. Okay. Yeah, the battles in the first season I thought were pretty good. Who's this with the bald head? Fascinating. It's not an elf or anything. It looks like a human. Yeah, I'm digging it. Kill them all. Yeah. He's transforming into Orakai or whatever, right? Power changes everything. Yeah, so I must have missed it. It must have been much sooner than that. But I'm digging it. What do you guys think? Yes? No? The reasons why this is getting a lot of hate is because they've changed up some of the lore that a lot of people didn't like. Like a lot of people didn't like Galadriel, but because she's going to turn into the character that we know in Lord of the Rings. Guys, like I always understood that, but for a lot of people, they just wanted her to be Galadriel. They knew right up off the bat with no curve whatsoever to her character, right? Okay, so it looks like he's getting meddled with, starting to hallucinate there. So Sauron is definitely using his powers to corrupt. I don't know if it's going to be within or... But yeah, the orcs, they look great. I'm looking forward to this, actually. So, I think the trailer did its job. Shall we scroll down and... Yeah, that's the Balrog, right? Choreography looks great. Morvith Clark. Okay, what's going on here? Awesome. Awesomeness, man.
Every soul in the sea.
All right. Yeah, okay, hold on. That's where it was. Was that? That's where I wanted to go. Is that Kieran Hines? Looks like it. I'll have to take a look at the IMDb. Is he like an early version of Sauron? Sauron? Sauron, that's who it is. Right? No? Let's go online and take a look at the IMDb. I didn't pull this one because I didn't... Or let's just look up Kieran Hines. His IMDb. That'll be the telling. No, I guess not. Doesn't look like it. Unless it's up here. No, it is. Rings of Power. TV series. One episode. Okay, cool. Cool, man. What did you guys think about that trailer? Arglass says, I'd love to just binge the entire season 2. I think, yeah, that's what the way they should have done it, I think, due to the way that the reception was from the first season. I know it's ideal to have it like on the weekly basis and have people talk about it. But I think for this one, it may be better if they just release it just like that. Yeah. The character who says kill them all is a new actor who took over from the first season. Sam Hazeldine takes over for Joseph Molly. Oh, okay. So they do look a little bit different. Derpy says I'm looking a lot like Morbin Time. Morbin Time. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Yeah, good catch about Kieran Hines. Yeah. All right. Dug the trailer. That was pretty cool. Next, Kraven the Hunter dropped its official trailer one. We've gotten a teaser before, but let's take a look at this new trailer for... maybe, am I going to cut this one out maybe later? I don't know. Throw up the old graphic there. Trailer reaction for Kraven the Hunter, starring Aaron Taylor
We are hunters,
Johnson,
the
my son.
greatest the world has ever known.
Охотник до сказки.
The hunter is a myth. Well, we know that Aaron Taylor Johnson can do the action. And we know it's going to be rated R now.
Who's next?
I heard the noise of thunder.
Just as long as it doesn't show any
You like your
nudity,
father? A
I
gangster?
think we should be safe.
A killer?
But they want to show that they're not holding any punches with this, right? So maybe that's why it's going to be a little bit more gore. Like that. Okay.
Followed with him.
There's a man going round
Taking names.
My son.
and he decides who to free
Some Johnny
and
Cash.
who to blame.
Yes, an animal stronger than you can imagine.
The hairs on your arm
Who is that guy?
will stand up.
Tell me about this.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Rhino is supposed to be in this one,
Once
right?
you're on his list, there's only one way off.
And that's him, the Alex
When the
Troy.
man comes around.
When the man comes around.
When the man comes around.
Okay.
Whoever is unjust,
You think you're some kind of honor, some kind of code.
they'll be unjust too.
Ooh.
You're just
Wow.
another man
Whoever is righteous,
hunting
Who was that?
for a trophy,
let him be righteous still.
just like our father.
So that's his brother?
When the man comes
When
around.
the man comes around.
When the man comes around.
Guy's chameleon, I think. Oh, it's chameleon.
Embrace who you really are, son.
No, so that is the rhino.
And you will become
Or a version of the
legend.
rhino,
When
right?
the man comes around.
Not bad.
When
Kraven the Hunter.
man comes around.
Now, we all expected this one to be a complete bomb because it was made under the same umbrella as the people who did like Madame Web and stuff. And this movie was actually supposed to come out last year and it just got pushed. And then Madame Web didn't do so well, so they pushed it again. It's just sitting on the shelf now. It's done. And it's been done for a long time. So they're hoping that Christmas time, a lot of people will want to go out and see this. Based on that trailer, though, that was a much better trailer than that teaser that they first released. Let's scroll back there and take a look at the rhino. Turn off the captions. The jacket looks good. So this is Chameleon, huh? He's got some kind of skin disorder. So Rhino was in here. There he is. So it's not a CGI mechanical suit Rhino they want to go for. It's not even just a normal suit that he wears to make himself feel big, right? Like he was in the 60s cartoon, 70s cartoon or whatever. I like the different take on it, for sure. On the different take on the Rhino character. CGI, obviously. But yeah, no, I like that. I dig that. That's awesome. Yeah. Cool stuff. Chameleon is Kraven's brother, I think. Oh, okay. Glass says. Good use of song. Johnny Cash. Yeah, so it looks like he's taking a serum of some kind, it looks like there, right? This is the guy who played Pollux Troy in Face Off. Yeah, it looked like there's something that he took out of this container here that made him like that. Yeah, let's go down to the comments to see what people are saying. They made this rated R, but kept the Venom movies family friendly. Yeah, so a lot of people are a little enraged about that. As much as I would love to make a witty comment here, this Kraven flick actually looks pretty good, considering this is an R-rated movie and we should expect a lot of good old-fashioned gore and violence. I only wish Venom and Morbius took the same approach. Well, I think a lot of people did. Sony Pictures might finally be taking some notes from the Deadpool franchise. Yeah, I'm going to guess Rhino and Kraven get recruited by Vulture and Morbius in post-credit scene to fight Spider-Man. Sorry. Yeah, I was always going to say Spider-Man. What do you mean? And whatever universe they're all in. Russell Crowe plays the dad of Superman, Hercules, and Kraven. Not another Gambit treatment. He's what? I don't know what the heck they mean by that. Not another Gambit treatment. What? I don't understand that. Anyway. Gambit's not Sony, it's Marvel. Good trailer. Thumbs up. Yes, I dug it. Alrighty. Let's turn off this. Get into some hit or miss headlines. Alien Romulus comes out tomorrow, guys, and first reactions has started to pour in yesterday. And I thought we'd just take a look at the buzz, because I'm really anticipating this film. Fede Alvarez, I like the cast, Kaylee Spaney. I like the Alien universe, even though that I may not like it the first time, like I did with Alien Covenant. God, I hated that movie when I saw it in the theater. I mean, I came out of the theater detesting it. I was so angry. Like you could see it in my. Did I do a straight out of the theater reaction for it? Anyway, I was. Ooh, I was like, what is this? Anyway, I still liked being in that universe though, right? Because it was like always visceral with the alien and its body horror and its uh, bleak kind of overtones of the future. Anyway, so right when we started shooting it, the studio was like, F it, we're going into theaters. Good choice. So some early reactions. Alien Romulus has the great hallmarks of what you would expect in an alien flick, but never feels like it's pandering to nostalgia or fan service. And even goes into a crazy new direction. Fede Alvarez and the cast just gave birth to the summer's best movie. Good, that's good. Alien Romulus is absolutely gorgeous and somehow honors every single movie that came before. Kaylee Spaney and David Johnson, or is it Johnson, are great leads, and the alien effects are so satisfying. The finale may be divisive, but I loved it. Big fan of this one. Alien Romulus is shockingly good. Okay, this movie is so inventive with horror. I had to pick my jaw up off the floor in the third act. That was insane. Wow, okay, so somebody did like the third act. Somebody didn't. Leans heavily into the horror origins to craft a relentless, visceral ride through that starts off slowly and increases in intensity until you're left gasping for a breath by the end, devoid of any thematic depth. It incorporates so many winks and nods and moments. Okay. All right. So you get the picture here. Mostly good. I'm going to look for one that didn't like it here. Some truly creative moments. However, the finale takes a big swing, and that just didn't work for me. It left me feeling underwhelmed. Okay, so the third act had to be I'm curious about it. I don't want to get spoiled here. I'm curious. Alien Romulus is a curious one. Effective scares, but every set piece feels like a video game level, theme park ride intro, or Horror Nights maze. Character work didn't hit me at all either, and I'm an easy mark. Well, I'm not expecting a whole lot of death, but they can get it in there. We know from Aliens, you can shoehorn in something about like Ripley's loss, about her daughter and stuff like that. It's slight, and it's a theme that carries out through with the Newt character, right? So there's ways you can build in characters in like characters' arcs and growth into these types of movies. Now, a movie that just came out, Borderlands, didn't do that. They tried. They had the elements in there, but Borderlands was just like, here's the good guys, here's the bad guys. They're going to fight, and we don't know. That's about it, guys. You don't know how they became the bad guy, or are they really a bad guy, or the good guys. It's kind of like they tried, but anyway, you can do it. You can do it, and I hope that Alien Romulus does. Fede Alvarez, Alien Romulus is gnarly, gripping, and gorgeously bleak. Everything from the story. Okay, some praise about the cinematography and the score. So another nod to the cast there at Kaylee Spaney and David Janssen. I'll have to look up that. I'll have to look up how to pronounce his name. Don't Breathe in Space. A nasty amalgamation of Scott's prequels in the first two. Alien Romulus is effing phenomenal. That's good. So as you can see, overall good praise. For me, Alien Romulus plays like a greatest hits of the franchise. So this is all over the pages today, guys. Alien Romulus, this is from Variety. First reactions highlight the glorious gore, incredible creature design, and pays perfect homage to the original. Yeah, no, I'm hyped. I'm seeing this tomorrow at 4 o'clock, so pay attention for my straight out of the theater reaction for that. Looks like this is just a recapture of all the same kind of quotes. I saw that Harloff posted his as well. I don't know if Perry or Matt Donato have yet either. Going over to the tomato meter, nothing's posted there just yet. It should be today, actually. There should be something here today. But yeah, I'm seeing it tomorrow. Very hyped. Looking forward to it. One of my most anticipated for this month for sure. Good stuff. We'll keep our eyes open for that. Next, Transformers 1 gets a PG rating for sci-fi violence. Well, actually, the first Transformers movie was PG. Was it PG-13 even? Because there was a swear word in it. Was it? Is it Chopper or Hopper that swears when he gets pulled into the Unicron? He's like, "Oh, S, it didn't work," kind of thing. And then you see them get eaten. Anyway, lots of fun here. I got to admit, the second trailer's been playing on a lot of movies I've been seeing in the theaters lately. And I didn't like the first trailer because I don't like to see Megatron and Optimus be friends and then have like a falling out and then they become enemies kind of thing, right? I didn't feel like the Transformers needed that in their universe. And it's clearly not directed for like the older fans of the franchise. But guys, this is what the studios just don't seem to understand between Transformers and Ninja Turtles. You can make a movie that appeals to all of the fan base, right? This is seriously meant for 6 to 12-year-olds. A 40-year-old man, not so much. But I grew up with the Transformers, so why can't I access this movie? So I think I may give this one a little bit more rope as we get closer to the release, based on that, of my love for the Transformers. I'll go out and see it. I'll expect the new Marvel type humor infused into it, but I'll see it and see where they go with it. Rated PG doesn't really matter to me because I can watch anything. I guess I could only hope that it keeps the love for the franchise going for yet another one generation. But I do think, yes, the Michael Bay Transformers made $1 billion just based on the name alone, kind of thing. Like the characters in those movies barely resembled anything of the characters that came from the cartoon and stuff, right? Like Optimus sort of did at times, but even the main voice of Optimus was like, this is not the way that Optimus would talk in a couple of the Bayverse movies. But I think it's possible that if you made a live action one, where it's appealing to like Star Wars, the big wide range of fan base, you would make your $1 billion Transformers movies again. Because I know it declined, but that was mostly due to the Bayverse, and people just had enough of Michael Bay, right? People have not had enough of Transformers because it looks like this is going to do well. And I liked Rise of the Beasts, and I really, really liked Bumblebee. So, and those were not Bayverse or Bay movies, right? Anyway, good stuff. PG. When does Transformers 1 come out? September 20th. So 5 weeks from now. PG. Now to talk about something that's not so nice. Joaquin Phoenix, last minute exit from a movie where he was going to have a gay romance in a drama. I guess he got cold feet. He said, no, guys, I don't know if I can do this. I'm out. But he just walked. And that shut down the production. And since then, the producers and everything has kind of come out and said, guys, why didn't you? Well, first of all, it sucks that he did this because everybody was signed up to do the movie, right? So you got like the crew and stuff like that ready to make some money, some cheddar. And if the star walked away, the studios were like, well, I guess we're not going to recast that. That's it. We're done with this. And it's like, that sucks. So everybody's been voicing their opinions about it. It's a story that's sadly going to linger over Joaquin Phoenix's head here right up until Joker 2. Because I'm sure that when Joker 2 comes out and he's doing the press, people are going to ask. And it's going to be a very sensitive subject. Guys, if you don't know, Joaquin Phoenix suffers from anxiety and stuff like that. He's always doubtful about getting into some of the scripts. Like I've said it before about Napoleon, he was never really fully on board with that. He tried to do this, he tried to exit it, but Ridley Scott walked him back and he walked him through the script and said, this is what I would want from you in these scenes. You can do this, Joaquin. And he's like, well, we saw how Napoleon worked out. So maybe, guys, maybe it's a good thing that if his heart was not in it, for him to be okay. It was looking like he was going to try to stretch himself as an actor here, right? Even though he doesn't need to. He won the Oscar, guys. But for me, on his side, and as an argument for his side, if you got the anxiety, you don't really have anything to prove to anyone. It looks like it would have been a nice opportunity to play in that realm, that sandbox of acting, to give yourself some challenges that you've never done before, to see if you could pull it off. But I also kind of like, if you're suffering from this anxiety from it, then yeah, don't do it if your heart's not going to be in it. But then, as I said, on the other side, I preface this all with sucks for the crew. And it sucks for the PR and that thing that's going to hang over Joaquin Phoenix now for the next couple of months. But it's all up in all over the pages, so it's something that we can't quite get away from, at least not for a while. Kind of sucks. Bumblebee made the whole Transformers franchise real as what was possible and sets a high bar. Yeah, Artglass says, I can't imagine Joaquin having an issue with gay romance. He's probably thinking he's too old, maybe. River Phoenix did My Own Private Idaho. Oh, yeah, he did that with Keanu, right? Yeah, I don't know. We will never know, actually, right? Because I'm sure that Joaquin's not going to talk about this. He's going to be asked, but he'll be like, sorry, I can't comment on that. And he shouldn't. We can only speculate that it was maybe because he didn't want to do gay scenes, but who knows? Who knows? He does. And yeah, talking about beefs, George Clooney, he's been out doing some work, and he was on somebody's podcast or was a variety interview. Some juicy quotes here have been given. So, Three Kings, David O. Russell, apparently when they were filming that, him and the director, David O. Russell, butted heads. That's nothing new. If you ever heard any stories about David O. Russell, he works with a certain intensity, and if you ever thought of the director yelling and screaming at everybody behind the scenes, just in a bad way, not to, like, you know how I've always said that if your director, you've got to make the machine run. You got to be yelling, get it over there, do that, get this done quickly, get up there. You got to raise your voice sometimes, right? Not yelling at people, but to be loud enough to make sure that everybody understands what you're saying. And sometimes that comes off as somebody that's really driving it hard, right? There's a way of doing that without coming off being a butthead, being a miserable F, as George Clooney says. And David O. Russell takes all that yelling and screaming in a bad way and says things like, instead of, if I'm talking to the gaffer and I say, please get up there and rig that light. We need that light. We have to have that light. The way that David O. Russell would say it, he would say, get up that fucking ladder and do your damn job or you're fired. That's the way that David O. Russell would talk. So there's different ways of doing it, right? Anyway, and I don't subscribe to the way that David O. Russell does it, but to get out the way that his art out the way that he wants to, sometimes you just, yeah. I could never do it. I would never talk to an actor or anybody else that I'm working with like that. It's just not in me. Um, Especially because I like working with actors. Uh, I like working with scenes. I like blocking. I like uh, rehearsing, trying out things. Right. Anyway. Uh, yeah. So apparently, oh, sorry, it was for GQ. GQ. This all came out, and yeah. He had a quote here, quote, "The older you get, time allotment is very different. 5 months out of your life is a lot," Clooney said. And so it's not just like, oh, I'm not going to do a really good film, Three Kings, and I'm going to have a miserable F like David O. Russell making my life hell, making every person in the crew's life hell. It's not worth it. Not at this point in my life. You just have to get a good product. Yeah. So he's realized that he would never work with him again, and he's still got that bad blood. But apparently, he's not the only one that he's got bad blood for. I guess Quentin Tarantino had come out and said something about George Clooney throwing some shade, saying that apparently Tarantino said that Clooney's not a real movie star. And then Clooney said, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this? If you're going to say something bad about me, I'm going to say something bad about you too, man." So the beefs are there. We've got some beefs. George Clooney airing it out. Clooney howls along Brad Pitt for Wolves, while blasting Tarantino for dismissing his career. So yeah, I guess he's been out promoting Wolves, getting ready for this release, which looks fun. And I like Clooney and I like Brad Pitt. You know, they're friends in real life. They like to hang out and stuff, or like share. They like to prank each other behind each other's backs. They have fun, right? That's why the Ocean's movies work so well. And Tarantino's been known to work with Pitt, so it came up, and then it was just like, yeah, it was weird. It's a weird situation. I don't know why all this dirty laundry is coming out now. Well, I guess because of Wolves, he's out talking about it. It's just, I don't understand why Tarantino would say that about George Clooney. Hopefully they got his quote here in this article. No, it doesn't look like what Tarantino said. But that's pretty much what's been going on with that, guys. We don't need to go and read any more quotes. It's just curious. And everything I hear about George Clooney is that you hear that he's a mensch, right? He's a true a gentleman, some guy that you would love to crack a beer with and just kind of like, yeah. So that's how it is, huh? Yep. Huh. Okay. Where are we at? 34 minutes. Next. Steven Spielberg helped to end the feud between Clint Eastwood and Spike Lee. We're talking about beefs. I didn't realize there was one. The war between words between Spike Lee and Clint Eastwood might have been overblown. Okay. So, when Eastwood's double header Flags of Our Fathers and Letters to Iwo Jima came out in 2006, there are a lot of things that Spike don't like. The one way that Clint depicted World War II. So they aired some of their grievances about the way that certain films are made. Lee put it, Clint Eastwood did 2 films about Iwo Jima back to back, and if you blinked, you would miss the one black person that was in it. There were black Marines in Iwo Jima. Okay, so he called them out for not having enough diversity in the cast or enough representation. Which, you know, the hate monger bandwagon out there, people would be like, ooh. So Clint Eastwood naturally wouldn't just sit back. Of course he wouldn't. If Eastwood stands up for himself. I respect Eastwood, even though that he's a little bit more on the right side of things when it comes to political matters. This guy's lost his mind. A guy like that should just shut his face. So as you can see, there's some jabs back and forth there between the two of them. But it looks like Spielberg came in to try to make the peace at a Lakers game. He said, Spike, stop talking about Clint Eastwood. I said, I'm not. I've said all I'm going to say, and that was it. Okay. I said, Stephen, it's over with Clint Eastwood. Stephen laughed and said, I'll call Clint and tell him in the morning. I said it's over. Okay. So he was trying to be the diplomat there. And I think it's mostly because, uh, they're all directors, filmmakers, and you don't want to see people butting heads. It's just not, yeah. So good for Spielberg. Yeah, and everything you hear about Spielberg too, you hear that he's a good dude. So that doesn't shock me. Our Glass says Quentin Tarantino was interviewed and said he didn't rate George Clooney as a film star. Yeah, bit harsh, Quentin. Yeah, I thought George was great from Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, he was. That's a great movie. But he's also done a lot of really small stuff like what is that? The one with Shailene Woodley that debuted, The Descendants, The American. He plays a sniper. He's turned in some really, really solid performances. Good career. Really good career. I'd totally call him a movie star. For sure. All right. Next. Maybe name dropping and all publicity is good publicity. Maybe. Sometimes. Hellboy, the Crooked Man director, approached the film like a Stephen King adaptation. Yeah. I didn't like the first teaser that they put out. It made it look like it was too much like, sadly, almost like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, but with Hellboy in it. But the second trailer that came out not that long back, it looked a lot better. It looked a lot more solid. And I'm actually looking forward to this project. They've done it, I think, the only way that Hellboy can be done, with a much smaller budget. And hopefully that'll lead to a little bit more, the potential for more box office success. But he approached it like adapting a Stephen King. Okay, so The Crooked Man is about the 1950s rural Appalachia, where they discover a small community haunted by witches, led by a local devil, with a troubling connection to Hellboy's past. Okay. So in the comic, the Crooked Man was an 18th century miser and war profiteer named Jeremiah Whitkins, who was hanged for his crimes and yet returned from hell as the region's resident devil. So they go, and then we've seen that in the trailers, right? Interesting. Well, talking to Games Radar. It's a horror story. It's a horror film. It's very simple. It took to this like this is an adaptation. I'm adapting the story the way I would adapt a Stephen King story. The director said it's all in there. It's all in the text. I'm just like going to execute it with as much love and as care as we can. I think fans of the original comic book are going to love this. I know they're already like there's people online who've seen the teasers and things like that, and they're like, "This is the comic. That's what we want." Interesting. Yeah, so it's rated R. Hellboy Crooked Man. When is that release? It's coming out September 27th in the UK. Jack Kessie. Yeah, Jack Kessie. He was the guy in The Strain, the big guy. Yeah, and if this works, this is the way that Hellboy will have to live. Hopefully it does. I know everybody would like to have Del Toro come back or to do like the third one, but guys, no, not for the cheddar that he was asking. It's a franchise that just doesn't pull in the billion dollars or the hundreds of millions, like Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine concept art features cameos that didn't make it into the finished film. So we got some concept art here. Guys, this is nothing really spoilerish because, well, I guess it is if you haven't watched the movie. But the movie's out, and if you haven't seen it yet, you probably don't want to. So this is the mural of them fighting all the that big army of Deadpools that came out. Just to zoom in here, you get to see, who's this? Is that? Oh, that's a variant of Deadpool. But you see Ghost Rider in there. And we did hear the rumblings that they did ask Nicolas Cage, but he's kind of like, not right now, guys. Right? That's what he said. So you see Ghost Rider there. In the background, you see Blade. Johnny Storm. So that's cool. Elektra. And Daredevil. Well, then it looks like very much like a Ben Affleck Daredevil down there. Right? Interesting. That's not that much. Hey, James, don't mean to go off topic, but did the Toxic Avenger ever get released in Canada or the US? No. No, it didn't. That one got shelved. And I don't know why it never came out. Because when it debuted at, was it South by Southwest or something, people liked it. But it's been quietly sitting on the shelf, and I don't know if we're ever going to get more of it, or like the actual full release. I'm sure it's probably going to come out on Shudder at some point. Kevin Bacon, Peter Dinklage, Jacob Tremblay, like the cast is there. Elijah Wood. I don't know why that got buried. Next. Halle Berry breaks her silence on why she did not reprise her X-Men role for Deadpool and Wolverine. Oh, was she asked to be Storm? Guys, close this. Why is this there? Not searching nothing. You don't see Storm in here somewhere, do you? No, I don't see Storm. But it would have been cool. So Halle Berry says to comicbook.com, Blake Lively asked me one time, I ran into her and Marc Jacobs at a Marc Jacobs fashion show, and she said, would you like to be in my husband's movie as Storm? I said, yeah, if he asked me, but he never asked me. Wow. Okay. Halle Berry's awesome, man. And she seems like if she was asked, she would totally play ball. And it kind of sucks because you got the actress like the caliber of Halle Berry and such a great character of Storm. And again, it's like this thing where they just don't show us the characters as they were in the comics. I don't understand why it's got to be changed. She had raging issues, anger issues. Like she had to work hard to contain all of that. Not a whiff of any of that in the movies ever, right? And to see, and that would have been tasty for her as an actress to get into that and show us that conflict. That would have been awesome. We need a Storm movie. Anyway, I'll make a Storm movie for $30 million with Halle Berry. There, that's it. No? Kate Blanchett describes the backwards process of how Marvel movies are made. Well, that would be backwards if you'd hired me to make your movie. Trust me, I would spend a lot of time on the story, though, guys. I would, like, the story would make sense. Anyway, Marvel aren't necessarily used to having a whole script. So there wasn't anything. Often, though, they will board the essential battles and then they'll start working backwards and construct their stories. It's a whole big, massive jigsaw puzzle. I don't know. What I didn't realize then was it was the first time a female villain had been realized on the big screen, so that was exciting. Yeah. Oh, so guys, we kind of knew that. If you didn't understand that, and you look back at the Marvel universe, it's like, yeah, they announced all these projects without having a script, like for Blade and stuff like that. So, what Kate is saying here is 100% true. Where it's like, yeah, they're making movies backwards, basing it around set pieces or action sequences, which can be done. Uh, that's apparently how the last few Mission Impossible movies have been made. This is one of the reasons why some people didn't come back for that, like Rebecca Ferguson, who said that I can't work like this because they come to the set and they're like, well, what dialogue is going to be here? We got to wait for this to all work out and stuff like that. And she can't work like that. She's got to have the script. I wish everybody took a little bit of page out of what James Gunn said the other day about not shooting Superman until the script was completely done and locked in. We're not changing it. This is it, guys. So when we go shoot it, we don't need reshoots or anything like that. We shoot what we have. And apparently that's not the way that it's been with Marvel. And I think that's this process of them making it like this, like on the fly, has definitely marred, and it's definitely evident through phases 4 and 5 here. So they need to course correct and get that fixed ASAP. And it seems hopefully that they're on that way. Next, last two stories, guys. Last two. Reacher fans worry about the show's future after Paramount Television closes in a shocking move by Paramount to shut down its studio TV arm. Reacher was under that? I thought they were under Amazon. Because I watch it on Amazon Prime. No? The closure comes as part of Paramount's global restructuring and sadly includes major layoffs that could affect shows like Time Bandits, The Spiderwick Chronicles, Cross, and of course Reacher, which sucks because I was really looking forward to season 3. I think that they must be done. They've been shooting it for a while, so they've got to be coming to wrapping that. And Alan Richson, guys, he's awesome. He's awesome. Amazon needs to buy the rights and produce Reacher season 3 themselves. So did they halt it? He said that there were layoffs, but there's no official word. We're just worried right now, guys. It's not official yet. Well, it was fun while it lasted. They did deliver quality TV. Reacher, Grease Live, Maniac. I don't know. I never watched any of those. If Prime Video doesn't delay Reacher over this current BS from the CEOs, I will cancel my subscription. Well, hey, you got to do what you got to do sometimes, right? Reacher will return. Yeah, we know that because they've been shooting it. We've seen set photos. We've seen production behind the scenes stuff. Well, this is all from season 2, guys. All those photos, but I'll keep our eye on it. We know that they were filming it, so hopefully Amazon picks it up. That's all I gotta say. Argyle says, yeah, the Marvel name and the superhero aren't enough just to carry the movie anymore. Too much like style over substance. Yeah. Last one. Is this it? This is it. Boy George is getting a biopic developed at TriStar with J.C. Lee penning the script. Now, I didn't really listen to Boy George in the 80s. Everybody knows Do You Really Want to Hurt Me song or whatever it's called. I can't sing it, guys. But actually, they mentioned the Amy Winehouse biopic, Back to Black here. As long they held punches in that Amy Winehouse biopic. I liked it mostly due to the performances, but yeah, the story was a little meh because they held back. Now I don't know that much about Boy George's like behind the scenes stuff. I know it was controversial in the 80s because it was like people were a lot more conservative back then. They just weren't exposed to it as much, right? To dressing up. So, let's just see how that goes. Is that it? I think that's it. I'm still waiting for Ang Lee's passion project of biopic of Bruce Lee. Boy George can wait. Yeah, I'll just see how that goes. All right. I think that's all for me today. We'll just go over to the Twitterverse and see what if I missed anything. Clea Duvall to write and direct Perfume and Pain, a series. Okay, described as a sexy and twisted character drama following a hopelessly romantic and equally reckless sapphic novelist on the verge of superstardom. Okay. Group chat, Hulu. I don't care about Kardashians, guys. I'm sorry. Jodie Turner Smith. John Boyega. He's looking beefy, isn't he? Simon Ashley. Said Simone. Hunter Schafer. Behind the scenes. Cuckoo. Yeah, she was in Cuckoo. She did pretty good there. Beef. Kaylee Spinney will star alongside Charles Melton and Oscar Isaac and Carey Mulligan in Beef Season 2. Oh, really? I guess I should maybe key up Beef Season 1 then. Carey Mulligan. Kaylee Spinney. I like the red contrast there. The black and the red. Is that the old heart? IMAX poster for The Crow. Blow that up. August 23rd. Oi. So that's 2 weeks from now. No buzz. There's no buzz for The Crow. Absolutely none. I'd be counting your chickens or whatever they. Will Poulter for Arsenal. Any Arsenal fans out there? Will Poulter for Arsenal. Eric Kyogan for Manchester United. Any Man U fans out there?
This is what I want. I think you're mad.
I would like to go see a match. If I ever go over to the UK, I want to watch a match. Just to see what the crowd is really like. I'm guessing it's just going to be like us with the way that we are for hockey games, right? The Crow, Bill Skarsgård. New clip. Zoe Kravitz and Channing Tatum in the Criterion chest or closet. Sorry. I like these little things. Arglass says I'm more Arsenal than Manchester. Blink Twice is coming out, and I like these things. Zoe, wow, she really looks like her mother there. Zoe's directing Blink Twice, and I'm really looking forward to it to see what she can do. And also, Channing Tatum's having a good year, guys. Obviously, Deadpool and Wolverine, and people have been really liking him in that. I liked Fly Me to the Moon, and really looking forward to Blink Twice. See what movies they picked out here. I'll have to watch this episode later. Bill Skarsgård, F.K. Twigs draw each other for The Crow. The Substance, Demi Moore, a new trailer debuts tomorrow. That's going to debut at Midnight Madness or whatever it's called at TIFF. So maybe I'm going to try to go to it this year. I'm going to try to go to The Substance at Midnight Madness. For Lee, Hugh Jackman reacts to watching Deadpool and Wolverine for the first time. The Gentleman has been renewed for season 2. Theo James Sam Eggers, The Front Room. All right. Yeah. Looks like that's it for me. Zoe Kravitz covers Esquire. Kind of racy. Sofia Vergara. Alex. Sophia. All right, guys. Yeah, that's it for me. Rings of Power, Season 2. That brings us full circle, right? That's where we started. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining me today. Well, it's only 56 minutes. That's okay. All right. Is there anything else? No. All right. Join us tomorrow for more straight out of the theater reaction for Alien. All right. If not, I'll see you next time. You're watching Mirror Domains.